sure that we are streaming. Bum bum ba-dum bum ba-dum. You are live now. I know. I'm trying to make sure we're streaming. Okay, awesome. Oh, there it is. So let's kick it into high gear.
Previously on Superbud. Danny, a heartbroken college dropout, decides to smoke his troubles away one weekend. Little does he know, the weed he buys is actually an experimental strain of marijuana that was smuggled out of a lab by a small-time drug dealer who has been selling it to everyone in Emerald Oaks, giving them all superpowers. Will Danny and his friends become the heroes their town needs, or will it be destroyed by the effects of Superbud?
What's up, George? What's going on today?
Today on the show, today on the show, we
bud.
have Mike Dean and Tim Radecki, creators and writers of the comic book Superbud. We're going to be talking about that coming up next.
Yes, I already got a bud from that trailer. Let's get it.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the dream of Medina and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your meds, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the Craze. If you are an independent, catch the Craze. Making moves on your own, catch the Craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the Craze. Join the movement, catch the Craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. Yeah, you want to do it. Catch the Craze. Welcome to Catch the Craze podcast. I am your host with the most, Sam the Crazy Man Vera, and I am with
George the Dreamer Medina. What's happening?
How high? So high that I could touch the sky. Up to the sky. Look up at the sky.
Buddy.
There's a bird. There's a plane. What's up? What's up?
Bro, not much. Another exciting episode of Catch the Craze is what's up. And we have another live Kickstarter edition here on Catch the Craze.
Yes,
we have a really
start-
cool
yeah.
book, different book, Superbud.
Yeah.
That trailer, bro. That trailer is nice.
Yes.
Nice.
It got me.
Got you a little nice?
Yes.
Got you
True story.
Yeah.
True story.
Man. Oh, here we go.
One of the first times, the first time I ever lit up, I was 22 years old, and you wasn't supposed to inhale, and I inhaled wrong, and it burned my throat, and I was coughing for like 5 minutes. I said, it was horrible. But yeah, that was the first year and last year that I did it. So I did it that year for the whole year. And
Wow.
and then I was done. And
We're
because all I was doing was eating fried chicken and pizza and McDonald's, and it was horrible.
Okay.
The bud lit Sam up. Yes, that's right.
Bud. Yeah, man. No, I mean, listen, that's real deal right there. But these guys also have a really cool looking book. Not just the subject matter, but the artwork.
Yes.
The artwork looked really, really cool.
Yeah.
These guys have a background in I believe it was web design and in the film industry. So film and web. So they know what they're doing when it comes to that kind of stuff. So that's good. I'm glad that they'll be on the show today. But we have exciting news on the side of Catch the Craze and Crazy Comics. So you want to hit us with that news, Sam?
Sucky now. First of all, you guys will be receiving your packages soon. So we're going to start there first. We're going to start with the crazies first. So the homage cover is here, ready to go. There's the homage cover. There's the butts cover. It's here and it's ready to go. And remember, the homage comes with a certificate of authenticity. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at here. Look at here. And we also have the super backer trading card.
Nice.
Right? So bang, bang.
Front and back.
Front and back. Back, forth and forth. So that's cool. And I gotta put the link in there. Forbidden.
Oh,
No
you have to
landing-
give us a little drum roll, bro.
Oh, shit.
You gave us nothing on that. Oh, there you go.
Oh, feeling hot. So,
Oh, man.
yeah, Forbidden landing page is live. Thank you.
This time.
I dedicate this. Yeah, so that's exciting. Forbidden the landing page. I gotta put that dang thing there. The landing page Forbidden. Let me get that landing page going. But yeah, so Forbidden is gonna pop off July 6th. And so you can sign up now on the landing page, which is fantastically fantastic. I just gotta find it. Where is it? On the star. Where are you hiding? I know can find you. But yeah, so as I'm looking for that damn link because it's a long link. Dang it. Stop it, girl. I'm gonna have to go to where is that? I'm gonna go to Facebook. So go ahead, George, talk. Well, I'm looking.
Oh, I don't know what you're doing, bro. I don't know what you're doing.
Come
You
and
had
talk
news?
to me. Huh?
You had news. You're doing stuff over there on the side. I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what's going on.
I'm promoting live.
You're showing us. Oh, here you are. You're promoting. You're promoting while the show is live. I freaking love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
Anyway, yeah,
I
no,
love it
so
so
that's good,
much.
man. I'm glad that all that stuff. Now that stuff is from Mix'em, the Mix'em covers.
That's the Mix'em, and the Hollow 4 Gold and Silver should be here by tomorrow, Friday.
Nice. Well, welcome in Crystal Haskins, our friend and close fan of the show. Thank you so much for coming in. Gilbert Rodriguez is in the house. Thank you so much.
What's up,
And,
Gilly?
Yes, Gil's in the house, and we're excited to talk to Mike and Tim coming up next. But I'm also excited at the fact that we have all of that going on with the Crazies and Forbidden. Now you can follow the launch page. So if you go to Catch the Craze,
There it is. There's the
on
link.
Instagram, you can follow the launch page there, or go to our go to the chat. I think you're gonna put the link on there, right?
I
Tim?
just did.
There you go. So the
What's
link
up,
is on there.
Edgar EP in the house?
So check that out. The launch page is live right now. So notify me on launch. Click on that button, and boom,
Yes, the launch
you
page
will
is
get
there.
an email
Yes.
as soon as the campaign goes live. So you want to hit that launch page coming soon alert, and
Yes.
there it is.
And this issue is 27 pages.
That's
It's a
right.
follow-up issue. If you didn't back issue number 0, which launched on Indiegogo, issue 1 is launching on Kickstarter. You'll still be able to get issue 0 on this campaign as well. So you'll be able to get 0 and 1. So the second book is 27 pages. It's off the chain. Anibal did the artwork, interiors, and the color was done by Barbara. She killing it. And we have alternate covers. We have variant covers. You have a cover by Anibal, cover by me. So it's really, really fantastic.
Nice.
I'm excited.
Yeah, no, it's good, man. Finally, it just took a little while. It was
Finally,
supposed to
it
come out
happened to me.
at the end of this month. We probably should have been 2 days away from launch, but things happen for a reason.
Yeah,
and here we are.
Yeah, we would have been launching this week.
Yeah. Would have been
Summoners.
2 days Friday. So now, when is the launch day?
July 6th.
July 6th.
Yes, July
Nice.
6th, just to give people, I want to keep promoting it, get that landing page. Thank you all who signed up to the newsletter. I sent an email out to those of you who signed up to the newsletter and with the link to Forbidden, so that's pretty dope. It's pretty cool. I just got an email from Alternacon saying they wanted my headshot and my social links so they can promote the fact that I'll be at Alternacon in August. So that's
For
cool.
a second, I thought you were going to say your social security number.
I know. I haven't heard anything from ZoloCon. What's up, ZoloCon? You're in a few weeks, like 3 weeks away
Yeah, it's coming up July 17th. That's right. Don't forget, a little under a month from now.
I haven't got anything from
Sammy
them.
and Jonathan Syphex will be at ZoloCon in Pennsylvania. Where is it? It's not in Pittsburgh, is it? Where is it?
It's in PA. It's in
somewhere in PA.
Bucks County, PA.
There you go. So they will be out there, and Eternal Con's coming up, like you just mentioned. So that's going to be out in August, and and then in August we will also have be virtually. We will be at Ambient Con, which is a virtual convention that is happening on the 28th and 29th. So definitely look out for that, Ambient Con. Go to their website and check that out. And then we have a couple of appearances, man. Next week, we're going to be on Nerds of the Round on the 29th. We're going to be on Nerds of the Round talking about Loki, the 3rd episode. I don't know if anybody's seen it yet, but that we will be talking about. And on the 30th, we have our live show, Wednesday at 8 p.m.
Next Wednesday, 8 p.m. Johnny and Anibal and Georgie will be in the studio. It'll be the first time George and I are in the studio since the breakout. And it's the first time Jonathan and Anibal will be in the studio with us since 2007.
Ah, okay. Nice. Yeah, it's been a while, right? Holy cow.
It's been a minute.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's that's going to be interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, what else is going on? What else? Yeah,
so we have the countdown to episode 300. Bang! The countdown to episode 300. So again, we want 30 of you in the chat room. So hopefully we have 30 of you in the chat. So this way we can raffle off 3 prizes. So remember, 300, 3, and 30. We're playing on the number 3. So that's coming up. And then we also have the 1K challenge. So we're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by September 9th, which is our 2nd year anniversary of our comeback of the Craze. And so one lucky winner, if we have 1,000, will win a $100 gift card, a Catch the Craze hoodie, and 3 graphic novels. There's Name in My Toilet, Catch the Crazies, Volume 1, and Rush 5377. So that's all some good stuff coming down the pike. But again, Johnny and I are supposed to be going to ZoloCon. I don't know what just happened. My Zoom just froze. There it is. Zoom better stop backing up. So John and I are supposed to be going to ZoloCon. So there we are. And, ZoloCon, if you're watching, I haven't got anything from you guys since a couple of weeks. What's up? And I have my request for yeah, George is going to sing first.
Yeah, well, it's a whole karaoke thing. Isn't that your brainchild to have a karaoke night live with the fellas?
Yo, fellas, yes.
So you're supplying the liquor or what? Because I don't think anybody's gonna be singing.
You don't drink.
Okay, well then I guess I won't be drinking. Well, I got
George,
my little.
I've never seen you drink since I've known you, ever.
I was talking about more for John and Anibal.
Yeah. Well. Anibal, he needs to be, if he's coming over, he needs to be coming over with a gift, which is a bottle. All right, Anibal, that's how it works. If I'm walking over to your house, I'm bringing a bottle of wine. You come to my house, you bring a bottle of whiskey. That's how it works.
I'm bringing you a bottle of OE, bro. Bottle of OE is what he's bringing. But yeah, so we will be there. We will be live at 8 p.m. So make sure you join us next week. On Wednesday, the 30th. Damn, this month, dude, just flew by. It's already July. Well, next week. It's already. Holy cow.
I can't believe it's already Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday, which is Comic Book Wednesday. Did you pick up the comic book that you were going to pick up?
I went. So I went and I picked up Spawn Universe, and I got 2 covers. It's pretty expensive. So I got 2 covers. I got the Todd cover. I like this cover. And I got the Gunslinger cover. And I also decided to get, because I never picked it up, Berserker #1. And so I'm going to be featuring Spawn Universe and What's in the Box. And I will do Berserk as well. So I went over to my local comic shop, and they had tons of them. I didn't have to, because I was in the shop and I was the only one in the indie section. There was about maybe 8 other people, and they were all in the mainstream section, scooping up all the Marvel and DC comics. And I was the only one looking for images.
Well, I was looking for because issue number 3 of Berserker is out now, and I was looking for number 2 because I missed number 2, and they didn't have number 2. They have a lot of 3s, but they have no number 2s.
Berserker.
So so I read the first one, and I haven't really been able to read anything else.
Oh no,
I don't like to skip. So
no, this store. This store had all of them.
Yeah,
but I picked up one first to see if I like it. You know, I don't want to just assume I'm gonna like it just because it's Boom Studios and Keanu. I was like, let me just check it out first. And
no, it's good. It's a good read.
Because I bought 3 books. It was $18. I was like, Diablo.
Yeah, well, you bought them backing boards. They charge you for that too, I'm sure.
They charge you 15 cents with the backing boards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they charge you for that. Yeah. So you got $5.99 on the on good old Todd. So you got $12 right there. So yeah, man. Jeez.
Yeah.
Comics ain't cheap, bro. Comics ain't cheap. And that's the big boys. That's the big boys who can afford to print that stuff.
Yeah, I was doing the math. I was like, you know what? If 60% is taken away and he's taking 40%, 40% of $6, which is what, $2? $1 and change?
Yeah.
Right? So, and if he sold 300,000 copies at $2, that's like, a little over $500,000.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
No.
So I thought that was, so anyway, so, they Toddy, I supported you. So when I see you at New York Comic Con, I want an interview. All right, Todd. Don't,
Todd.
You're not ducking me, Todd. I'm coming for you.
Listen, did you support any of his Kickstarters?
Todd?
Mm-hmm.
I bought all his stuff. I have all his damn action figures.
So, but the question was, did you support any of his Kickstarters?
No.
You didn't?
Why?
Yeah,
I go to the store. I go to the bodega.
Yeah, but that money's going straight to his pocket.
Yeah, so is the other one.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
The bad time he pays all that other stuff. Actually, you know what?
No, it doesn't. It's the same way.
Todd is the one guy that probably does go. Everything does go back.
It's the same. It's the same principle because he has to pay a third party because he's not freaking packing that stuff. So he's paying people to pack it, ship it, all that stuff. He has to pay to print all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Same thing. So whatever residual is there, it's it's the same thing as selling his stuff in stores. He's making the same money.
Yeah, no, I know.
You ain't getting no action, Sammy. No interview for you. Time for some action. Time for some time for.
You just can't freeze, bro. You just cannot freeze.
Let's get ready to rumble. Stop acting up. So I do see that our guests are in the waiting room. So we're going to cut to commercial. And when we come back, we're going to bring the crew in. So what do we got?
Do you have a Kickstarter campaign and you're trying to figure out how to get the word out? You look online and you see the competition is fierce. Comic-Cons are slowly coming back. But in the meantime, how do you spread the word? You worked for hours creating your campaign. You post on as many social media sites as possible, trying to get the word out to no avail. Well, look no further. Why not sponsor an episode of Catch the Craze podcast, the fastest growing indie podcast in the market today? That 30-second promo can get you an extra 2 to 3 backers or more. Who knows? Let's go. Hit the link below and get one step closer to a successful campaign.
Hello there.
There they are. They're coming in.
What's up? Howdy do.
You're good. I think Tim's coming in. Mike, are you on? Can you hear us or?
Hello. I see you guys.
I see Tim. It looks like Tim is on.
You want to play
Mike
charades?
looks like he's muted. I don't know if you guys hear us now. You're like, no.
Ask to unmute. Starting to hear something.
Hey, can you guys hear me now?
I hear you. Yes, there you
What's
go.
up, Tim?
All right. Hey, guys. How are you?
Not bad. Nice meeting you, man. I'm George. That's Sam. Is Mike on? Let's see.
Yeah, Mike's here.
I see him.
I just can't hear him.
Sorry, I got this fancy mic set up, and it's not worth anything for me.
So anyway, welcome to Catch the Craze, guys. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
We saw that trailer at the beginning. Sick trailer. Very good job. Thank you for coming on. And for everybody who doesn't know, that's Tim Radecki, and this is. And Mike, can you hear us? I don't think Mike can hear us still.
Not yet.
I promise we've used Zoom before.
This is Mike Dean. But you know what, Tim? We'll start with you. Until Mike can figure it out, let's start with you. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about who Tim Radecki is. Give us your humble beginnings. Talk to us
Awesome.
about
All
how
right.
you got
Yeah.
into this.
Yeah. Well, first, thanks for having us on, man. We're really excited to have an opportunity to talk about Superbud here.
Yeah.
So Mike and I started writing together in college. We met in college. We were film majors. We started hanging out, and we found out that we were both into comics, which was really cool. And back then, that was not a common thing. Back in 2004, it's not as cool and acceptable as it is now.
Right.
So that was like, whoa, I got somebody else who's into this. So we started hanging out. There was really not much going on in the town where we went to school. So we found a comic shop that was like 40 minutes away. So every Wednesday, I would take the drive over there, go pick up comics with our other buddy, Mike O'Brien. And between the three of us, would scrounge a couple bucks up, and each of us get a couple comics and hang out that night and pass them around. Like, oh, I got this one that's really good. And hopefully one of us maybe had enough bucks to get a trade back or a graphic novel or something like that. So that was kind of how we started. I had a lifelong love of comics ever since I was able to read. Something I was really into, something Mike was into, so we bonded over that. And then we started writing together in 2004. We were in school. We were both like serious, like film majors, like looking to get into writing and directing, but like to like goof around and have fun on the weekends and that kind of thing. So we had a group of friends that we would hang out with, funny guys. And we all like thought, let's start a sketch comedy group. So that was actually how we started writing. Mike and I were writing a lot of the sketches for the group. We found that everybody liked to hang out and goof around and come up with ideas, but nobody really wanted to sit there at the typewriter and bang them out. So that was kind of Mike and I. So we named ourselves to be the head writers and showrunners. And that was really our first experience writing together. And from there, we kind of went off. We were each doing our own short films, but it was always like a good writing partner to go to and say, hey, can you give me a rewrite on this? Can you check this out? What do you think? And we were always, even if it was uncredited, always doing rewrites on each other's work back then. Nice. And then in like 2007, when we were graduating, we had a writing professor who really told us, hey, the best opportunity for you guys is actually in television. We were really focused in film. But he's like, basically they make maybe 100 films a year. But if you look, there's hundreds and hundreds of TV shows that get made a year. And every one of those TV shows has a writer's room. So there's dozens of jobs per show. So that was our focus. So going after school, we kind of worked on pilots. We would always write a spec skip for like a new sitcom that was out. And then we'd write our original pilot. And we kind of rotate back between both of them. And still really loved comics and never really considered it a possibility to even write for them. It was like, that was a whole different world to us. Yeah. I guess because we kind of had resources and we knew people that were in the industry for film and television, but we really didn't know anybody in comics at all at that time. So it seemed like a totally different world. So it was kind of isolated for us. And then I guess around 2008, 2009, there was a really resurgence in indie comics. There was kind of like a second wave. Image had that second wave where Robert Kirkman's Walking Dead blew up. And then all of a sudden, all the guys that were writing comics at that time started going from DC to Marvel to putting out their own stuff at Image. And that was a really exciting time for us as fans. So that was when we first had the idea to go, okay, well, maybe we can give this a shot for writing like an indie comic versus trying to get into Marvel or DC, which to us seemed like they had their doors closed to new writers. Seemed like you had to be already experienced writer to get a job there. So that was kind of the inception of the idea. And we kind of just sat and thought, okay, one day when we had the right idea that really doesn't work for TV or film, that is exclusive for comics, best as a comic, we'll write our comic. And that's how we got to Superbud.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Bro. That's what in those times when you're driving 40 minutes away, what were the comics that you were picking up? What were you guys into? What were you reading at the time?
I think right at that time was right when Marvel Civil War came out. So that was like a huge thing that was driving us to the stores all the time. And then just picking up back issues. I remember we were reading like a lot of like the older like Wolverine Origin had been out. We picked up a lot of like the Amazing Spider-Man that we had missed out on earlier.
Yeah, that Wolverine origin graphic novel was really good, man.
Yeah.
Like that, when I read that, I was like, holy cow! Like
Game changer.
yeah, right. It really was, because it gave you a different glimpse into the Wolverine world, and it really, when I feel like, and correct me, and you guys can tell me, when I read a book like that, it motivates me to write, and it motivates me to write, and it almost tells me, hey, I can do that too. Like, it gives me that inspiration. Do you find that reading comics did that for you, or was it more watching movies because you were in film? What motivates you guys to write?
I think, good work anywhere is going to motivate you. And I always feel like in that moment I'm inspired. So if I'm reading a great comic, man, I would love to do this. Same thing goes for movies and TV, or even like reading a good novel. It was in the back of my head. I go, man, I'd love to write one of those, and I'm never practiced or I don't know, willing to dedicate that much time into writing a novel. But when I read a good one, I go, man, I would love to do this. And I think that's just like what great art does for us. Even if I see a great picture, I'd be like, man, I'd love to draw that. I can't draw at all. I don't have any skills. But when I see great art, I go, man, I would love to do that.
You're so right, man. You're so right. Mike, can we hear you now? Oh, you still, I think you're muted. You might be muted.
You mute.
Try just unplugging everything.
Yeah. I don't know if, no, I think he's still, we can't hear you. That's weird.
Now.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
The stupid AirPods. Apple just can't get their shit together.
Man,
There you
we
go.
look like a bunch of old men here. We can't get anyone to do the word.
Yeah, and just to shout out a couple of the people in the chat room. We have a couple of our regulars. Crystal is on here. Michael San Martino, Dan Land says hi, Mike Dean.
Hey.
Moondoggy Media says super bud, and he's very excited about it. So yeah,
Nice.
it's cool,
Awesome.
man.
Hey, thanks
Have
for
a
hanging
bunch
out,
of-
guys.
Yeah, it's cool to have a
Appreciate
bunch
it.
of people.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about, I guess, about your experiences in the film industry, or even you said you did you guys ever get a chance to go into some of these writing rooms and start writing? I know you did sketches for yourselves, but did you ever get a chance to write for some of these shows?
Yeah, so we really focused on writing our own stuff. So it was always like we would write a spec script for like a well-known show. We would try to pitch that, and then we'd take the next script and we'd write something original. We created an original pilot. But the best thing that we had was we did a 6-episode web series called Wrapped.
Nice.
So we wrote that, and then instead of waiting around for somebody else, we're like, let's produce it. So we got into action, called up all our buddies. Luckily, from being experienced in school and then working in the film industry, we had a lot of good contacts, and it was like a passion project for us. It was a project made out of love. Everybody would get together on the weekends when we were working our 9-to-5s, and then save time on the weekend and get together and shoot. I think we did 6 episodes in 3 weekends, which was, crazy pace. Well, a lot of fun, and man, it was awesome working with all our buddies.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, we took all those stories from, like, right after we graduated. We both went and worked on a feature film, like a semi-low budget horror film called Malevolence. And so we kind of took a lot of the experiences we had as like being PAs and being like really the bottom of the totem pole rather, and like put that into this kind of like web series idea.
Nice, dude. Yeah,
Nice.
the collaboration process, I think it's the same, and not the same in every single industry, but I think when you even when you go like to a film school like that, you're always gonna have those buddies that say, hey man, you want to get together and do some kind of stuff, because it's just creativity. It just attracts creativity, I think. But as far as your comic book writing and the difference between the two, right? You're writing screenplays, and now you're writing scripts for comics. Did you find that there was a big difference, or do you kind of incorporate some of the stuff that you're writing for the screen into comics, and do they kind of like mesh? Do you find that they mesh, or is it like completely different?
It's definitely different, but you take cues from each other. So like, even because we both still do film, and like even having worked now in comics, that influences how we work in film. Like, I'm much more aware of like shots and editing because of having to be so specific with comics and how you do a panel to panel. And when we first wrote our script for Superbud, we didn't write panels and pages. We just were like, here you go, artists. Like, we gave it to our artist, Tim Lottie, and he's like, yeah, you guys have to like give me like more specifics than this. Like, that's my way of writing. Cause we were used to like hearing about like the old school Marvel way, where it was just like, oh, we'll give the artist like an idea and he'll draw it, and then we'll just fill in the script as we go. But he was like, no, we do this panel by panel. And so it really made us more disciplined as writers. Yeah. And now I feel even more disciplined as like writing for film because of that.
Nice.
Yeah, we had just come off doing that web series, which was very like sitcom style. So it's real snappy dialogue. So we had so much dialogue. And that was the other thing. We had to really learn to be like, pare it down and get like to your point exactly. Mm-hmm. And if you read the first issue, there's still scenes where there's like 3 or 4 pages of 2 characters just talking, which luckily Tim Lottie, our artist, drew really well, and it looks exciting and dynamic. But in the future, we're like, okay, we got to pare that down. We can't do that much time with just 2 characters talking. But it was a fun way for us to kind of do the exposition of the story and make jokes at the same time. Yeah. So I feel like that first issue is definitely more joke heavy than plot heavy, and we correct course on the second and third issue.
So he gave you feedback. He said, guys, give me more detail. Did you have to refer to anything in order to basically try to understand what he was asking for? Did you go and like pick up like how to create comics the Marvel way, or did you just wing it?
We did have a couple of those, and then also a lot of comics that we liked sometimes would have like the script in the back. So like, I think there was a Kevin Smith Batman Cacophony, it might've been, that had like his script and how he broke it down. And because he writes for film, it was more like what we were used to. So we're like, okay, cool. So this is like script format. And now when we write for our comic book scripts, we don't write in like final draft script format as much. We write more in like an outlined like panel by page description, and it's much less emphasized on the dialogue than it is on like what we need the artist to understand. And then like we still like, obviously we have the dialogue down, but we're able to be like, okay, what's important that he gets from the script, not versus like what we want the ultimate reader to get.
Right.
And consider that
I think
hold on. So
consider
that
drawing.
Wait, hold on. Consider that you guys collaborate when you guys were doing your writing for film. Were you doing table reads, and do you still translate that in the comics? Do you conduct your table reads as well when you're writing the script for the comics?
Sometimes we did when we first wrote Superbud, we wrote 6 issues. And we did table reads with our friends, and like it was really fun and really funny, but it was much more like a TV sitcom the way we wrote it. They were like 25-page scripts, and there was no real like clear distinction of what was a page and what was a panel. And then every time that we, sent a script to Tim Lottie, we went back and we rewrote the following scripts to be more in line with the changes we had to like retroactively made.
Yeah. No, what I was going to say to you guys was like writing for comics, you actually become also the director while you're writing for those comics, because you got to tell them the expressions on their faces, maybe what they're wearing. Is it cold outside? Is it day? Is it night? Also camera angles. Do you guys throw camera angles into your scripts, or you kind of leave it up to the artist and say, dude, just give me some really cool stuff in here? Do you guys leave it open, or do you guys kind of like go in there and say, overhead shot or worm's eye view or whatever?
Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like that was the biggest difference from script for television and film to writing for a comic. Ultimately, a lot of times in writing for TV and film, they tell you not to do those things. Like the director's going to make those choices. You can include it if you feel like it's important, but they might not follow that. So our mind was always on story and dialogue. But writing for comics, we had to lean back into that directing skill. And luckily, we had worked for years directing ourselves. So we do have an eye for that kind of thing. Is just translating for comics is a little different. So I would say it's a little bit of both. I think it depends on what the scene is and what we're trying to get across. If we have an image in our head, like we have to describe it that way, we'll say, okay, it's a low angle, it's like a Dutch angle, it's a wide angle. But a lot of times it might just be like more of like just basic film terms, close up, medium shot, wide shot. And then it's up to Tim to interpret it. And like the best thing is when you describe something in plain terms and then you get something that's so dynamic and like way better than we could have designed. If we would use 1,000 words, we couldn't have described it as well,
That's the magic. That's the magic right there, man. When you get that page and you're like, holy, this guy did this, like what the hell? It changes the way, and then it just motivates. Like we talk about motivation, it just makes you write more. You're like, all right, cool, this guy gets it. Now you open up to what you guys can do. But let's talk about the Kickstarter, and let's talk about the book itself. Okay, so Super Bud, totally funny concept. I love. Tell us what it is, because I don't want to ruin it by saying it wrong. So tell us the concept behind Super Bud and what it's about.
And before you start, I know before you, the two things. At any point, if anybody in the chat has a question, I'll be looking up from time to time, and we'll take your questions. But you were talking about you and your buddies. You get the comics. You would pass it around. Were you passing that around with the other stuff?
I don't actually know if we were back then. Later, years later, definitely.
Okay.
But back then, I don't think we were.
All right.
We were too scared in a college dorm, I think.
Yeah, less so in college, but when we were doing the web series, a little bit more so. Like,
that's
there's scenes of it in the web series.
Yeah, exactly. There's actual shots of it in the web series.
Oh man, what was the other thing? You said you had two things.
No, the first one was if anybody had any questions, I'll be looking up.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right. So tell us about Super Bud.
Go for it, Tim.
All right. So it's a high-pace action comedy about marijuana that gets people superpowers. That's basically it. So this strain of marijuana is stolen from a lab and is passed through this small town, and everybody that smokes in that small town starts popping up with superpowers. So it's a little bit of the old NBC show Heroes meets like Half Baked. We always say like it's like Pineapple Express but with superpowers. That's an elevator pitch for it.
There you go. That sounds fun. And you guys are well into what, the third issue now, right? Because I know the first one you had a Kickstarter campaign back in 2015 for it, and you guys did very well in it. And now you're up to issue number 3, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, issue 1 we self-funded, and then issue 2 was the one that we kickstarted back in 2014, 2015. And then we actually were hoping to do this Kickstarter a year ago, but with COVID, we just kept on talking about it. And we're like, I don't really feel right asking people to help us make this when everyone's like just so economically strapped, and we just didn't really feel right doing it. So we're like, well, let's just wait and we'll just work on other stuff. And so actually it ended up leading to us just working on more scripts. So we did so much writing during the last year. Like every week we just would like work on old scripts and like try to refine it and get it ready.
Nice.
It was interesting. I think we finished the lettering on Super Bud the first week of March. So we were talking about launching of last year. So right as we were finishing it, was the start of.
That's right.
Yes, it was. I think it was like the lockdown started the 19th of March. I think it was.
Yeah. So we were like
just
finishing up our letting. We were sending it to like beta readers and like our friends saying, "Hey, can you check this out?" Right at the beginning of COVID, and at the time it was like, okay, well we'll push it back a couple of months, and we just kept pushing, and then we thought, okay, we'll just take our time. We'll make sure that we've got our scripts for 4 and 5 already. We're gonna get started on those soon, and give us time to work on the campaign. Get that ready.
Gotcha.
Nice.
So tell us a little bit about the characters in the story. I know Danny is one of the characters in the book. So tell us a little bit about who these characters are and what the inspiration behind them was.
So Danny was kind of like the most, probably the most like us at the time. He was, like just this young guy who didn't really know where the direction of his life was going to be, and he loved comics and he loved hanging out with his friends, and so he kind of became like our everyman stoner character. But then beyond that, we wanted to just think about, like, I remember after graduating college, just kind of realizing, I was like, oh, people who smoke marijuana are not just one cookie cutter caricature. Like, people from all walks of life and all different types of people smoke weed. And so that was one of the things we wanted to explore with the comic, was like showing like, oh, you could be, doing it for medical purposes. You could be like a very functional stoner. You could be someone who is a criminal element. You could be somebody who, is just selling it and doesn't even smoke it. And it's like, so we wanted to explore kind of all those aspects. Right. So and that's some of the things that come up. There's a character who is a hospice nurse, and he brings it for one of his patients to help them with pain. And that ends up giving this guy powers. And then another guy, he's like more like Danny, he's his best friend. He decides to bake it into a batch of brownies, and he's hoping to bring it to a concert. But then his little brother finds the batch of brownies and eats them. So a 10-year-old gets powers.
Nice.
Oh man, so the marijuana basically gives you superpowers. A strain of it gives you superpowers. And where does this come? Like, do you explain that in this, or is that something that you guys are kind of keeping secret? You got to read it. Is like, how does it get into the marijuana? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, so it's a slow burn kind of a, no pun intended, slow burn kind
Best
of story.
kind.
Despite all the jokes and it being a comedy, like we really did take that part seriously, and we try to build it like a thriller. So every issue you get a little bit of the backstory of what's going on. So basically there is like the nefarious pharmaceutical company in town, and they're developing this strain, and they're having all these issues with the strain. It's not working out. Basically people are dying, or they're turning into zombies. And this one doctor unlocks what makes it work. So they're trying to chemically enhance marijuana. And she unlocks it, but in doing so, finds that it gives people superpowers. So she's worried about it falling in the wrong hands of this nefarious company that she works for. So she partners with one of these local drug dealers who happens to be like a lab rat there. He's getting tested, and he's going to sneak it out, and that's how it's going to hit the town. So in issue 1, our main character just finds out that his dealer has what he's calling medical marijuana, and he doesn't know what it is. They have no idea that it's giving people superpowers. So nobody knows that until they find out the hard way when he starts floating. He can fly, so he starts floating when he's high. Or when Mikey, the one character, Rob's little brother, ends up eating the batch of brownies and turns into a monster. So a lot of fun like that.
So now, is it sustainable, or do you have to rely on the marijuana to maintain your new superpowers, or is that a spoiler?
Sam looks like he wants something. He's like, you got some of that stuff?
No, he gave me flashbacks where he said floating. I said, I remember those days.
We're exploring with it. It's also a part of like, how much did you ingest? Did you smoke a joint? Did you eat a whole batch of brownies? Did you take a bong rip? So that's going to play a part with how long the effects last, and how severe they are. So like Danny, the main character, floats, but the little brother who eats a batch of brownies turns into this big giant monster. So his powers seem to be a lot stronger. So that's going to be a part of it. And then the one drug dealer, Reggie, is going to have the powers the longest. He's been smoking the longest. And he's going to have a different impact on him.
Nice.
So I'm just looking at.
Did you see the questions? Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go read the questions.
No, I was going to say, so Michael San Martino says, are all of the heroes named after the strains of cannabis?
Oh
wow.
He's like, write that down.
You know what's funny? He says, get me in the writing room with these guys.
Yeah.
We'll have to talk after the show.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of it was just random names that we were coming up with in the moment.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And then Gilbert Rodriguez says, is there a character named Mary Jane in the book?
Oh.
Actually, there was they're not introduced yet, but we did talk about having a character named Mary Jane pop up in a future issue.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
Coming down the line, if we can get to volume 2, there is a part that's written, and maybe even a teaser, I think, at the end of issue 5.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
And then Crystal says, if Big Pharma is in it, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Marinol make an appearance. So that's an interesting take on that. And then Moondoggy Media said, do you guys have plans to write yourselves into the comic? If so, what would your superpowers be?
That's an awesome question.
Nice.
I think we both instinctively were like, okay, if we had superpowers, what power would you want? We both said flying at the same time, which is how we came up with Danny's power.
Okay, all right.
But I think that's a great one. We're going to introduce one of our characters. Trevor is going to have powers in issue 4. I don't know if we should reveal what those are, but that's an interesting.
We'll save it. It'll be good.
And then Monster Mikey's pretty cool. He turns into a monster. That's an awesome power to have.
Nice.
I don't know. What else? So there's a million powers out there. What do you think, Dean?
There's the premonitions. There's power of heat and freezing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of fun ones. I think flying, though, is the one that I would take. It's just too hard to pass up the idea
of being able to fly, right?
Yeah.
I agree. And then Michael follows up with, is Big Pharma going to make meth heads the villains?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like what we're trying to make that like parable or that analogy there is, I think being cannabis activists, or not we're not activists, but pro cannabis. We're not active enough to be activists. But to be pro cannabis, the fear is always like, well, what's going to happen when big business gets its hands on it?
Right.
So
Yes.
if Big Pharma gets involved, are they going to change it? Are they going to be as authentic as it is right now? Or like if you look at the tobacco industry, what they've done to tobacco and all the additives they add in. Yeah. So I think there's a real fear there. So that's part of it. And we were playing on that. Well, there's a lot of characters that'll be adversaries. I think like this pharmaceutical company and the head of that pharmaceutical company are the true villain of the story for us.
True. Yeah. Now you guys were writing during the whole pandemic. How many issues did you get into this thing? How far into it are you?
Yeah. So our original pitch was we were totally naive. I'll say that up front. We had read somewhere, or maybe at a con panel, somebody had said, if you're interested in pitch a limited series, you'll have more success. And at the time we were reading like Invincible and Ultimate Spider-Man, and they were all like 150, 160, 200 issue runs. So we thought 36 issues would be limited. Right. So that was our original pitch. Was in a matter of only like a few weeks, we had written the first 5 issues, and then had like a serious outline for the next 30 some issues. So I think we had 36 issues totally originally. Yeah. And we've scaled that down to 15 issues is our goal. And we're really just focused on getting to 5. If we get to 5, we'll get our trade back out. That'll be the first volume of a story. Yeah. You'll feel like you have a beginning, middle, and end there. And that'll be exciting for us. And that's our goal. And if it's taken off and Kickstarters are working out well, and we've built an audience from there, there's an audience that wants more, we could certainly go into the next 6 through 10 and keep going from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't think we had intended to necessarily wrap up at issue 5, but like that seems to be the best way to get our story across, at least originally.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And then the artwork. Talk to me about the artwork. The artist on the book, it's amazing, man. Like what he's done with the characters and their looks. Where did you meet him, and where did the idea for the look of the characters come from? Was it something that he created himself, or did you guys kind of like say, okay, well, listen, this is what we want him to look like? How did that work out?
So so basically when we came up with the idea, we didn't know for sure that we wanted to do it as a comic initially, but we talked about it and we're like, would this maybe be better as like a movie? Could we pitch this as a movie? And the more we talked about it, we kind of were like, this is comedic and it needs to have an element of cartooniness to it. And so we don't want to do it as a movie. There's just something that's not going to quite translate. So then when we started talking about doing it as a comic, we're like, well, what's the style? And so we kept going back and forth and looking at all these ones. And we both kind of agreed that it couldn't be too true to life. Like if it looked like X-Men, it was going to be too serious. If it looked like, Snoopy, it would be too cartoony. So we're like, we want somewhere in between maybe. And we kind of used the touchstone of like The Incredibles, where we're like, oh, The Incredibles like feels like fun action and like you believe it, but there's also something that's like not quite true to life about all the characters' features. So that was one of the things we went off of. And then I'm forgetting the name of the artist, but he did the was it the Spectacular Spider-Man series?
I'm trying to think.
Anyway, he had like kind of like a fun cartoony style to Spider-Man, and we liked his. So then we just had that in mind, and we'd see artists and we'd take down their names and we'd add them to a spreadsheet. And then I was actually working for a YouTube channel doing conventions at the time, filming, and I was down at New Orleans Wizard World, I think. And while I was there, I saw this guy's banner from across the room, and it was of one of these Star Wars characters. And I knew the character, but the way he did it was in that style. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that's the perfect style. Like, I know the character, but it's more cartoony than like, the typical Star Wars, like live action. And I wrote down the name, Lottie Inc. And then when I got home, I showed it to Tim. And then we reached out to him via Facebook, and we did the entire first issue all online without ever having met him. But basically that's just Tim's style. Like we talked to him, and you know, he didn't ask to do anything differently, and we didn't ask him to do anything differently. We asked him, actually, I think we initially asked him to do a cover. We commissioned him to do a cover, and we had 2 other artists do covers for us too. And as soon as we got Tim's cover, we're like, this is the guy. This is who we have to go with.
Nice, awesome. Nice. So yeah, there's another question from your pal Al. Will Danny's ex-girlfriend gain powers and become a villain, or go against him later on?
Oh, great. She is going to be a regular character. She's going to keep popping up. And I don't know if we can acknowledge or not acknowledge that question. I think she will certainly play a role in the future. Yeah,
without spoiling too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Big shout out to Mark Torres, who's also in the audience. He says, for all you artists, banners pay off, lesson learned. Because that's exactly how you found him, right? You saw that banner, you're like, wait, I like that. Let
me get a chance to talk to him that day, but we wrote down the name and reached out to him. And Tim was like the best person to work with. One, his style matched exactly what we had hoped for. It was even better than we could have imagined, and just like such a great creative partner, always passing things back to us better than what we had imagined. The big thing for us was like, okay, we're telling the serious story, but there's a lot of jokes in it, and you need somebody who can sell a joke visually. Like coming from a comedy background, we could always do, like when we're filming live action, we go, okay, that didn't work, let's take 2, let's take 3, and then get in the editing room and pick the best take. But ultimately, with a comic, like he's got to just draw it, and he nailed like the comedy and the facial expressions we needed, and he knew where the joke was, and like that's the biggest thing for comedy is just like understanding what the joke is and how to sell it. So he did all that because we ultimately were just putting words on a page, but he had to be the one to bring it to life.
That's nice. Awesome, and we also have another comment by one of our super supporters. Krista says, I would like to see an arc where you have the synthetic powers versus authentic powers, Marinol versus marijuana, kind of like this show Big Pharma's influence on patients. Would be an interesting battle.
Yeah, there's actually a little bit in I think it's in issue 2, right, Dean? We tease that there is going to be some
yes.
There's a guy that works in the lab who's sort of like the second in command. We always kind of joke that he's like the Smithers to the Mr. Burns character.
Smithers, yes.
And he comes into the lab and he shows that there are all these alternative joints that he has. So those are going to play a role in the future. You'll see some different variant powers from this other strain.
Yeah. I love how you guys got the guy, like the people watching, you got them thinking about just ideas.
I think they all lit up while they're thinking.
What if they going in?
We're taking notes too.
Yeah. So the Kickstarter, when will it be launching? Is there a launch page out there available for everybody to follow? Tell us a little bit about when it'll be out, if it's out already. Tell us a little bit about that.
We're launching July 6th. The page, we just were waiting on the video to finish up, which should be done in the next day or 2. So we should have like a pre-launch page that people can start going and following probably in the next like 4 or 5 days. And I think, did we send them video?
Yes, we started this. Yeah, we started the show with your video.
It's awesome. It's awesome, dude.
We played it at the opener.
Really, really good. Did you guys do that? Did you guys work on that?
Yeah. So actually, we worked on that with one of our good friends that we did the web series with, and so we developed the video with him. And we're very, and he's amazing to work with. Mike Ragone does like phenomenal video work. Actually, Moondoggy Media.
Ah, yes, Mugido, yes. I just
there he is. Yeah, he was on there. Good stuff. Yes. Yeah, no, I listen, when you guys have that launch page, you guys got to send us the link because we definitely have to follow it. I think this is a great fun. It looks like a fun book. And I love the fact that you're adding it. There is humor in it, but you're also adding that story into it, which is not just goofs and gags and all that other stuff. There's actually some real cool stuff. Anything else you guys want to tell us about? Anything? Any little maybe teases you can give the people listening about this?
Yeah, well, we're gonna launch the Kickstarter, and you'll see there's 2 exclusive variant covers. One designed by Tim Laddie. He always does a variant cover for every issue. and we'll leave it to the viewers to guess, but he always does a variant that's an homage to a classic comic. So you'll see one of those. And then we partnered with another artist, Dave Swartz, who did a really awesome variant cover for us as well. So we've got those. Plus, there's that third issue. You want to talk about that, Mike?
Yeah.
The Green Flower?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then I'm very excited about this. We talked about this one like 2-3 years ago, and we were waiting to release it for the Kickstarter. But we're doing one of the comics that I read when we were in college on all those trips is I went through the entire Sin City series.
Yes.
And I was like, wouldn't it be cool if we did something like That Yellow Bastard, but all with the green, the Super Bud green? So we're doing one like that called That Green Flower, and it's all black and white grayscale, but then with isolated green elements to it.
Nice.
Now, are you guys doing any events this year? Any shows, Comic Cons, or?
You know, originally we weren't sure what was going on, so we were like, let's dial back and we'll focus on Kickstarter. But we're excited to hit the cons in 2022. I know this is going to be the first year we're missing New York Comic Con in a long time. That's like the one that we always go to. And there's like Philly Wizard World here. There's a greater Philly Comic Con. There's a few others in like the local area in the New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York area that we do. So we're bummed. We're not planned for that, but we were so close to getting issue 3 out. We thought, why not wait until we have a third issue just to cover like table costs. It helps to have a third issue.
Yes.
And that kind of thing with a variant cover, and we'll have some posters and stuff. So we're gearing up for con. We're getting all of our stuff together, and then we're going to hit it strong in 2022.
Nice.
There you go. And where can they find the information that they will need to follow this launch?
Yeah, so we have a website, www.superbudcomic.com. And then you can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at Superbudcomic.
Sweet. Let me see
Share
this.
that link out
I
to you
posted the
guys.
link in the chat.
Yeah, definitely. Let me see if there's anything else any other questions that the guys may have. These guys are just now they're just being silly. So Michael's inhaling deeply. Okay, hear me out. Moondoggy Media says, thanks guys. I'm super high right now. What's the name of this book again? Deep puffs from Crystal. When we yawn, do deaf people think we are screaming? So they're just going in on the jokes. But no, guys, thank you so much for being on the show and for telling us about this really, really dope comic that's coming out July 6th. Be looking out for that launch page, everybody, because this comic book is going to be great. And now, just real quick on that, on the Kickstarter campaign, will they be able to get issues 1, 2, and 3? Will you have bundles?
Yes.
Yeah, we're ready for that. We do have the original press is still so the original printing of issues 1 and 2 will be available. Plus, then the variant that Mike was talking about, that Green Flower, which is a variant on issue 1, will be available as well. So,
actually, one other reward we're excited to do, in the past when we've gone to conventions, we've done panels where we like basically talk to people about how to do an indie comic. So we're actually, one of our rewards is going to be like a comic book workshop. So if you have a story and you just don't really know how to get it off the ground or how to talk to artists or what the process is, you can do that as one of the rewards, and we'll just help you. We'll walk you through the process, and we'll help you avoid some of the pitfalls and sometimes expensive mistakes that we've made along the way.
Oh yeah, we know about those as well. for sure. But guys, thank you so much for being on, and we look forward to seeing this project, man. And that's, like I said, just send us a link whenever that comes on, and then
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having us on.
Thanks so much, guys. It was really nice meeting you, George. Nice meeting you, Sam. Thanks so much for having us on. We really appreciate it.
Anytime, buddy.
And listen, hopefully we'll see each other in 2022 at one of these conventions.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, absolutely. Man.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Thanks,
How
guys.
you going, guys?
Bye.
See ya.
So the audience behaved terribly today. Look at you guys all over the place.
Yes.
You guys were just terrible.
Yes, but you guys were entertaining too. So thank you for, and I think that's one of the things that's important is that when we do have guests, whenever you guys have questions, it's always important, and that's a really good thing for them because you guys might see things or hear things that we're not picking up on, and it's fun. You guys are hilarious.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hey, Michael's ready. He says, okay, of course, I shall not purchase anything until I hear a certain song. Hashtag extortion.
Yeah.
So he's ready to extort you the next time people come on the show. It's just
Michael, 3:00 in the schoolyard, you and me. That's it. I'm going old school. I'm going Jamaica Queen style. It's over. That's it. It's over.
Oh, shoot. Oh, man, no, but great bunch of guys. Thank you so much, Tim and Mike, for being on the show. The book looks cool, man. Like, I love that that video that they sent us. And
the video's hot. I mean, they did a great job with the video.
time.
I thought it was cool. It made me choke up. It's funny. At the end of the school year in high school, everybody dreaded 3:00 at the last day of school. At the end of the school year, and it was like, because that's when you got back all the people that got on your nerves all year. You're like, all right, now it's on. And so people were like, oh man, who am I have to square up with now? Yes, I remember 3:00. It was infamous in my neighborhood. But
baby.
I don't even know what 24-hour Cinderella is. I gotta look that up.
No, and I don't know what ronery is. I don't know what ronery is.
I don't know ronery, or did she mean Roni? By what's his name? Bobby Brown. I don't know what ronery is. But I think she was puffing the magic dragon.
Yeah, there was a lot of puffing in the audience today. But thank you everybody who also came by and sat down and watched the interview, because I saw we had a few people watching. So that's great.
Oh yes, and if you missed the opening of the show, we did talk about that. We got the Crazies
buddy.
Cast the Crazies issue 3, and there's the homage cover with the certificate of authenticity, and we also have the super backer card came in. So we're just waiting on the holofoil. What's up, Tim?
That's Tim that was on the show.
Yeah, I know. Anytime, man. You got mi casa, su casa. You're always welcome back. Just bring the stuff, and we'll have fun.
Bring the stuff.
Bring the stuff. How high? So high that I can touch the sky.
Oh man,
to the sky.
No, that was cool. No, so everything's coming in. You're saying the holofoil cover and the silver and the gold aren't in yet.
Aren't in yet, but that's the last of the thing. So I'm starting to put the envelopes together, and so as soon as they come in, we just drop them in and start shipping. So hopefully by Saturday, like I said, I predicted by Saturday it's in the postal service's hands, so you guys get your stuff. So that's gonna be dope. And again, the Forbidden landing page is live. So
yes,
we also are launching on the 6th of July. So what a great way to spark it up and read Forbidden simultaneously. So that's good. That's gonna be good, because Forbidden is gonna take you on an adventure.
Yeah, no, it's good. Thanks, Mike. Thank you for the compliment there on the interview. And the guys were great, man. The guys were great. Like I said, the concept is dope. You know what I mean? What if marijuana gave you superpowers? And here it is.
Yes.
So yeah, looking forward to that book. And go to their website. You can download, I believe, the first issue right now if you sign up on their website. And I believe the second issue is on Comixology, so you may be able to pick that stuff up even before. Yes. But yeah, issue 3 is coming July 6th on Kickstarter. So make sure you are looking out for that. Yeah. But thank you guys for coming on. What else we got, Sammy? What else we got before we sign off?
I'm putting the links for the Forbidden landing page there. So
and next week we will be on Nerds of the Round on Tuesday at 9 p.m. We will be talking about Loki. And we're going to be doing
yes, I gotta watch
with the guys.
I gotta watch that.
Nerds of the Round.
Yeah, I only saw episode 1 of Loki.
Sebastian. Yeah, good. Big shout out to Sebastian, Law, and Tone from across the hall.
Yeah.
Check out their interviews too. We did individual interviews of the guys here on the channel, so check that out. Make sure you subscribe, like. Thank you for commenting all over the place. You guys are awesome. And then also next week on Wednesday at 8 p.m. the live show with the 4 Horsemen in studio.
Here we're going to be live in studio.
That's right.
So that's going to be new. I haven't had anybody sit in the studio since I built it. That's going to be fun. And it's going to be the first time to have the whole crew back in the studio since 2007.
Damn. Wow.
That's the last time the whole crew
We
was
some
in a
old-
room together.
We some old ass mofos, man.
You guys are some old man. I've been carrying you guys. I don't know about
07. Damn.
Stock up on
Jeez.
the snacks. I know. So Anibal, if you're watching this, you are responsible for bringing the bottle. So I'm just saying, it's just a common thing when you go into someone's home, bring a bottle. And Andy will pimp his stuff in person. I know he's probably gonna have his book with
he's
him.
Probably covered with some stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to blur the camera.
I'll probably have my spinner on me. You never know. We'll have some fun.
Yes, but where's that from?
What?
I'm gonna have me some fun. I'm gonna have me some fun. You don't remember that?
Well, no, hold on. Don't answer it. Let's see if anybody in the audience knows.
Do you guys know where that's from? Let's see.
We'll see who knows what.
And Michael should know this.
Mike, I'm surprised.
Because
man.
Michael's been on point so far. He should know this.
Oh man.
Hello.
Now you got it? No, nothing.
Nobody?
Nothing yet. Not nobody. You might have to give us the answer, Sam. Where's that from?
All right, I'm gonna count down from 10, and if nobody answers, I'm gonna say the answer. 9, 8, 7, 6. Sorry, I dipped out for a second. Seriously. Predator. There you go, Mark. There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna have some fun. All right, Mark. I hear you.
Yes. Remember
Mike,
when he's like, I'm gonna go after it. The Predator's taking everybody out, and he says, I'm gonna go after it, and he goes looking for him. He's like, I'm gonna have me some fun. He knows he's gonna die. he knows it's over.
Oh, snap. Nice. He said, "Woo!" Oh man. Wow, what a way to go. Next week there'll be more of that stuff, more of that fun stuff. We do actually have a topic that we're going to be discussing with the fellas, and we're going to be doing a little karaoke.
Are we going to do the hot pepper, the ghost pepper chip challenge?
If we have time.
George's gonna be my
phone. A little late.
my phone.
Make it a little late. You know what I'm saying?
I cannot talk. George's mouth's gonna look like collagen injections.
Mike said he stepped away during the question. You see what happens when you sleep, Mike?
See what happens, Mike? You gotta stay focused. You gotta what? Zip it. Focus.
Oh man. Mike, how's that book coming along, bro? Because I gotta check that out. Ain't gonna do that, Sammy. Oh man. But anyway, that's all I got for today. Sam, what you got? What else you got?
That's all I got. So head over to my landing page for Forbidden and sign up. Be the first one. Remember, it's 27 pages to follow up to issue number 0. If you backed issue 0 and you received it and you loved issue 0, you definitely got to read issue number 1. And this one's gonna pop off. And what's great about it is that issue 1 is completely done. So at the end of the campaign, it just goes to the printer. It's not like I'm working on it. So it's fully lettered, it's fully colored, it's off to the races. So issue 1 is crazy, and then it gets even better from that point on. When we take off issue 3, 4, 5, 6 and a half, it's a beast. But yes, there's some great incentives. We launch July 6th. But the page, I finally got Kickstarter to approve the page and let me release the landing page. It took me a minute. I was supposed to launch June 25th. Now we moved it to July 6th.
July 6th.
So I hope you guys and share it with friends. We want to make this. Everyone said move it to Kickstarter because you'll do a lot better than you did on Indiegogo. Even though we did well on Indiegogo, so let's see. Let's put it to the test. So with that said, tell George to illustrate my book so I could Kickstarter it.
Ain't gonna happen next.
Is any of the projects coming down the pike? It's right now. It's Catch the Crazies will launch in September. The trade, the graphic novel. You got Forbidden and Crazies, yes, and Forbidden, and then at the end of the year there's Needle in My Toilet, and in the beginning of next year will be. Is it Russ?
No. I'm going to be doing The Adventures of Wonder Duck, the second part of the story.
So next year, George is launching Wonder Duck on Kickstarter. At the end of the year, I'm launching There's Needle in My Toilet, potentially on Indiegogo, because Kickstarter has all these rules about how what you can do, what you can't do. So because in Forbidden, if this campaign does really well and I raise enough money to pay the art colorist to finish the book because it's 170 pages, then I'm just going straight to the graphic novel in the fall with Forbidden. So September, Catch the Crazies, November, Forbidden, December or January, There's An Alien in My Toilet, the graphic novel.
It is.
Yes, there it is. There it is. So that's what's going on with that. And then, this July 17th and 18th, see me and Jonathan, the Psycho Cyphex, at ZoloCon. We will be there.
Yes,
Where is that dang thing? Right there. Yes.
Where that thing at?
Right there. Bang. So me and Jonathan will be at ZoloCon. So I hope to see you there. And then in August, we're going to be at EternalCon in Long Island. So,
Right.
so we'll hope to see you guys there. If you guys have been at conventions, I'm doing commissions. I'm doing sketch covers. We were promoting the books. But that's what I got. I'm Sam, the crazy man, Vera.
I'm George, the Dreamer Medina.
And July 30th is the day of El Muerto. So happy birthday to you. And Amy Johnson just added another added to it. Yeah, I know. I saw that. She's the he's a Power Ranger. He's a Power Rangers fan. She's a Power Ranger. And go Power Rangers. So again, and I'm Santa Crazy Man Vera.
Medina again.
We are out.
It's just easy. It does not.
Crazy.
Acquiesce.
No, I was talking about my friend Acquiesce. I met him. Say my name, right?
This is what you were thinking? Oh, my.
He described me. He said, I'm the
What? Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. To Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze. Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.